I must confess that this is a wonderful occasion. You know, who would have imagined when people were saying that COVID will push us back 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and, coming back so quickly, at an event like this is mind-boggling. And I must compliment the organizers, who have taken that leap of faith to bring us all together in person despite our masks. But this is so good to see. First of all, I must confess that I have to thank Dr. Batra, for his immense focus on a general counsel. Because lawyers, as we know, we have been like unsung heroes. We have been behind almost every transaction, not only in 2020s, but imagine when a Tata Sons was setting up a factory way back in 1920s or 30s, some lawyer would have been advising them. Tata Sons was a startup then. So was Aditya Birla was a Birla Group was a startup at some point of time. But during those times also, the lawyers would have been helping them. But it took us a while before people like Dr. Batra came forward and thought that there should be a magazine which should be dedicated to the legal profession, and which is great to see. And, on behalf of the entire, legal community, including the general counsel community, I want to place my thanks to the organizers, who have taken this opportunity to, showcase the good work which lawyers have done. And I'm very, very thankful for that. Then I would like to, it's my honor and privilege, to succeed Dr. Bhasin on this dais. There is no way, it's a proud moment for me. Because as a student myself, I have always looked upon to stalwarts like him. And I come from a town which is very close to Delhi, which is Meerut. Anybody from Meerut here? Just raise your hand. Oh, you are from Meerut. Very good. So, Meerut is very close by, but I must tell you that when I'm a first generation lawyer, and I studied from Meerut University. I did my law from Meerut University. This was 1996. But before I did my law, I became a company secretary. And I started working as a company secretary. And then I thought that a company secretary profession, if complemented with a law degree, will, give me a lot of value, which it did. But I must tell you something about the perception part, and that is what I want to focus. Because people do see that today perhaps I'm here is because of my employer, which obviously it is. I can't take away the Boeing out of me. But I must also tell you that that perception is one of the most important things which all of us should learn to manage. So I must tell you a little story about myself. So my father was a very eminent doctor from Meerut. And nobody in the family, and we have a history of 400 years from Meerut. Nobody in the family ever worked for anybody. And we had our own cinema halls, film business in Meerut, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. And what happened, we talk today about a world called disruption, right? Disruption, unicorns, startups, changing businesses. But that disruption was even in those times. And what happened, the cinema businesses suffered because of cable TV, because of VCRs. So people stopped going to cinema halls. Our family suffered a major financial breakdown, major losses. In 80s, we suffered crores of losses, as a result of which our businesses failed. So at that point of time, our family were the largest film distributors in North India. All major banners, whether it was Manmohan Desai, whether it was Prakash Mehra, you name the director, we used to have them, who used to host them at our house at Meerut, in our cinema halls. Suddenly, the disruption changed everything for our family. And we were into deep financial problems. I lost my father because of that. Because he was a doctor, very eminent doctor, but he passed away when I was just doing my company secretary program. So for me, the biggest thing was to find employment for somebody, for some family which is not, has always given employment opportunities to people. The disruption changed everything, and I was out there to find a job for myself. So I had just done BCom then, and after doing my BCom, I appeared for many MBA entrance examinations. I failed in all of them. It was about 40, 50 entrance examinations. I qualified the written examination, but I failed in the interviews. Because one of the things I could not do was to speak publicly. And the group discussions which I sat for, I failed in most of them. So what to do? No source of earning, nothing. So I took up a job with SR Gujarat in Bombay as a practical trainee. Only a BCom from Meerut University. I was very proud of my degree. But look about the perception. So I go to SR Gujarat, they look at my CV, and they say, okay, we'll hire you, but as a practical trainee, and you have to support a company secretary. So what does that mean? He said that, SR Gujarat was coming up with a mega public issue, and they had hired a hall like this, which was full of public issue material. And they had just finished the public issue. So I was told that you have to go to this hall, you have to clear it, clean it. So a legacy of 400 years, son of a very famous doctor, who is no more, you are out because you need job. So the first job I did was to clean the room, put all the public issue material on my back, with one person, who was a helper with me. And during that cleaning of the room, he asked me, sir, you are a graduate? I said, yes, I have done BCom. How much do you earn? So I said, I earn 800 rupees. हमें तो 1000 रुपये मिलते हैं. तो आपका, I said, yeah, because मेरा PF कटता है, and that's why perhaps. So I tried to justify myself. But the perception I got from that point was, and while I was loading that public issue material on my back onto the truck, I have to disrupt myself. I cannot only rely on the legacy of my family. My family did something good, they built a legacy, but if I have to build a legacy, I have to do something of my own. And that was the turning point that I thought, and the next day what I did was I went to the ICSI office in Bombay, I enrolled myself. The second disruption was my father, I had just finished CS and I was doing in my second year of law, and my father passed away. He was in the ICU. My mother was sitting next to me. My mother did not cry. And what she said to me, तुम्हारा 3 दिन के बाद लॉ पेपर है, तुम्हें लॉ का एग्जाम देना है. You have to go and appear for the exam. So that confidence which I got on that day, I went for the exam, I sat for the exam, and till today, nothing seems impossible to me because of that legacy. So we had lost everything, financially we were in a deep problem, we had lost everything. But that legacy of to do that, you are capable, you come from a great family, God will not let you down. Believe in God, believe in yourself. So I did law. Third disruptive moment. I was looking for a job and I was being interviewed by a German company. So my CV had gone there and I was a company secretary and I did my law from Meerut University. I was shortlisted for the interview. I went for that interview. I will not name the company because it's not fair. But when I went there, the HR manager said, "Oh, you are a company secretary. Kaise kiya?" I said, "Sir, it's a correspondence program. It's a, distance education does not have a value." So I said, "But sir, I have worked very, very hard for this. And I never failed. All CS exams I cleared in first attempt. So I was trying to justify myself to the HR manager as we try to, impress people that, first time, first shot, cleared my, oh, no, 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 no. But it's after all, a distance education program. Second thing he said, which, shook me from inside. And he said, मेरठ यूनिवर्सिटी के लॉयर हो, वहाँ तो कोई भी चाकू गाड़ के पास हो जाता है. So I again started to justify that no, it's not. I did not carry a knife to the examination hall. I studied very, very hard for that law degree. I am very proud, even today, that I am a Meerut University student. I did my law from Meerut University. I am so proud. But the perception, I got rejected. And the reason for rejection was somebody had a perception about me that I did a degree which is inferior. So what do you do in such a situation? And I'm talking about disruption, These are disruptive moments for you. For example, today we would have lost people because of COVID. We perhaps go in a shell. That is not what we should do. And that is exactly what I'm trying to tell you. That my mother, when I lost my father, she did not go into a shell. She gave me that confidence, the leap of faith that you will do well. Likewise, now, what do I do? I am a Meerut University lawyer. Somebody has a perception that I carry a knife into the examination room to pass my exam. Some people would think that you start shouting at that person. Some people would argue with that person. What I did something different. I said, now I have to change the perception. I knew that degree with which I did is not bad. So I immediately thought in my mind that now I will change the perception of others. So what I did, I was just about, I think, 27, 28 then, did not have financial means, because, sir, you will know, in those days, salaries were not good enough. And, you had a dream to study in the United States, but you never had that money. I never wanted to sell my property to study. So now 20 years later, this was 2018, and I enrolled for a LLM program with Northwestern University. And there was a room like this, and professors were sitting. My batchmates were there who were perhaps 5-10 years younger than me. So I was like a Shah Rukh Khan in Mehuna. People perhaps called me uncle in that room. And they asked me, Akhil, tell me something. The dean of the Northwestern University was sitting there. And he asked me, why did it take you so long? We have so many people who come and study immediately after their JD and they do their LLM. You took 20 years. I said, should I? And I'm being honest, I could not afford it. But when somebody told me that day that your LLB degree is not good enough, now I have done your LLM from Northwestern University, I can now tell you the level of difficulty of LLB from Meerut University and LLM from Northwestern is no different. I have also done LLM from Meerut University. I have done LLM from Northwestern now. I do not see a difference. So that perception had to be challenged. I never thought for a moment that I had done something wrong. It was about a person's perception. And that is the most important thing. Today, you will work for your clients. You may be Dr. Lalit Bhasin, a stalwart of legal expertise in the country. But sir, if some clients come to you and tell you, Dr. Bhasin, we want to do it this way, I think you will do everything, for your client, right? So even a Dr. Lalit Bhasin, who is a stalwart, will have to take a feedback. And that is why he's so great. Because great people will always take a feedback. And when they will take a feedback, only then they will grow and they will become better. So one thing which I would tell all of you is, always take feedback from people. It is always better if you take a negative feedback. Because people will say good things about you. Sir, you are a good person. Dr. Bhasin is a great lawyer. But Dr. Bhasin would want to know, what is it that you don't like about him? I would like to know, what is it that you don't like about me? So when we do these performance appraisals in the company, I always ensure that I do a 360-degree review. 360-degree review not only from my bosses, but also from my juniors. Because a person should be able to assess you. Every junior person in your team, every senior person in your team, you should take a very positive and a constructive feedback. And I must tell you, feedback taking is not a very comfortable thing. It is perhaps the most difficult thing which can happen to you. But I must tell you, if you take a constructive feedback, there is no way anybody can stop you from being successful. Because it leads to you to introspect. And that is what I try and do every day. Even today, I try and find things which I need to improve. So one of the things was this, public speaking. Perhaps in 2007, 2008, we used to conduct board meetings, and we used to be with directors, we used to be with shareholders. I would have my palms would sweat, my legs would shake. So now what do? The first thing I did, sir, I went to IBA. I registered for an international conference, and I said, I have to kill this inhibition of public speaking. And I went to Madrid for an international conference. I registered as a speaker, and that was the day I killed my inhibition of not being able to speak openly. So things like these, if you think that somebody has a perception about you, and I'm not talking about legal education. Legal education is just one part. Some person may come to you and say that तुम्हें ये बात समझ नहीं आती, तुम्हें business acumen नहीं है, you don't understand business, and that is something. For a lawyer, it is the most important thing. And sir, just building upon what Dr. Bhasin said about a general counsel, what Dr. Batra said, you must understand that in a law firm, when you are working, you are dealing with lawyers. But when you are working in a corporation, you are dealing with non-lawyers. So when we are having a conversation in this room where we all have lawyers, we understand what, you say a section, you will understand the context. But what will happen in a boardroom? When your directors are there and you start quoting sections, or you start writing emails which are not emails, which are essays. So some people have a right, Supreme Court, blana, flana, 1990 judgment said this and that. And if that email goes to your MD, he will come to you, bhai, kehna kya chahte ho? Right? So that mindset we have to change. And that is exactly what we do as general counsels. So when we are in a problem, we go to Dr. Bhasin, people like him who are experts. And then what we learn from them, we then translate that into a business dialect. And we go to our business people and tell them, this is what Dr. Bhasin said, this is my view. This my view is very, very important. Because if you do not have a my view, you will not be employed. And that is exactly what we do as general counsels. That we are a sandwich between a business, not a business lawyer, a lawyer support from Dr. Bhasin, people like him, and then you as a general counsel. Because you have to understand your business. So one thing which I would strongly recommend, especially for students who are here, is your universities will tell you become a specialist in IP or become a specialist in X, specialist in Y. I would strongly recommend that if you want to become a general counsel, you should look at commercial law as your expertise. You should look at MBA as your expertise, because business education is very, very important, not only for becoming a general counsel, but becoming a successful practicing lawyer also. Sir, with your permission, there are so many other senior legal practitioners like Harish Salveji, like P. Chidambaram ji. They are MBAs, they are chartered accountants who have been into practice. And very, very successful because they understand the commercial aspects of litigation or commercial aspects of legal or for any transaction. That is what you should do. You have to disrupt yourself. And, when we are looking at, an event which is for 40 under 40, these 40 under 40 would have done something which is out of the extraordinary. That is why they are in that list. So we have to really understand, especially as law students, what is it and what does it take to become a lawyer by qualification, but a business enabler as a general counsel. So that is one of the most important transformative things that we should do as a lawyer, so that we become a better counsel. Very, very shortly, I think what COVID taught us, people may think that world came to an end. But did we realize that because of COVID, how many unicorns we have created? 2010, Make My Trip, it started, right? And now in 2021, how many do we have? Anybody? Sorry? 71 already, unicorns, which means valuation of $1 billion plus. So, and these are the people who never had any business background. Never had any business background. They are able to create businesses. How are they doing it? Because they want to change the status quo. If we want to become a better professional, we have to change the status quo. We have to unlearn to be a lawyer. We can learn, we can study, but when we are in a business environment, whether as a legal practitioner or as a general counsel, it is extremely important that you have to be an enabler. And it happens to us all the while. While we are in a senior management meeting, our MD will come to me and say, this is a problem I'm facing on a regulatory issue or a tax issue. You can't tell him that please go to the CFO. Because if you have been able to build that trust, that person will carry a perception that I went to Akhil, he said no to me, and he directed me to somebody else. So what you need to do is develop that capability of doing research, which lawyers are very, very well capable of. Today we have the best of technology. So whenever you go to a meeting and you know the agenda of the meeting, it would be fatal if you go to a meeting without proper research. So you have to develop that mindset of becoming, I did 2 PhDs, but I think what it helped me with is my analytical capability. But I'm not telling you do PhD like me, but have that mindset of doing a thorough research before you go to a client meeting. One important thing I would like to say that it's not only the startups which have disrupted. What about Reliance Industries? They thrived in COVID. When we had the first, wave of COVID, JioMart or Jio platform was attracting billions of dollars. So what does that mean? If a Mukesh Ambani, which is known for a refining project or petrochemicals industry, can transform the business into telecommunication, into e-commerce, that shows the persona of an individual who is willing to change. And that is something which all of us in this room who are legal professionals, we have to change ourselves. We have to change our mindset. And how and what do you need to change is the feedback that you receive from people. And that is exactly what I wanted to convey to you today, that it is extremely important that we should be willing to change. Only then we will be a better lawyer and a better person. We have time, okay, you have timed out. So, I'm available for, during the tea break, any questions, I'm very happy to answer. But thank you very much again, everybody, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.